You're not supposed to be here. That's what the flight attendant hissed, before kicking a 13-year-old girl's shin so hard her white sock instantly soaked red. Zara didn't scream, didn't cry, she just stood there, holding her leg, as if the world around her suddenly forgot she existed. First-class passengers pretended not to see. You know what I mean? Like this moment was invisible. But there, in seat 35C behind a hoodie and calm brown eyes, Zara carried something the airline had tried to bury years ago, something dormant, powerful enough to freeze every flight in the sky if she wanted. And now, she was done staying quiet. You kicked her out of her seat? Well, she was about to kick the whole industry out of its silence. Zara Bennett had barely settled when Clara Simmons' flight attendant and queen of first class control delivered the blow. Not words, no warning, just a sharp kick to Zara's shin, right below the tray table. Zara flinched, but not from pain, more from disbelief. Out! Now! Clara snapped, voice ice-laced, sharp enough to shatter the fragile calm of the cabin. The moment froze. Fuck hung me die. A man in a navy blazer adjusted his cufflink, eyes deliberately avoiding Zara. A woman, too, rose ahead, whispered to her husband. They really let anyone in here these days, huh? Blood trickled down Zara's ankle, soaking through her pristine sock, and still, she didn't say a word. Didn't cry. She did what she always did, endure. Her eyes locked on Clara's. That woman's face was too composed, too calm for someone who'd just assaulted a kid. Clara's lips curled in disdain as she barked, "You don't belong here, sweetheart." Boarding pass. Zara reached inside her jacket, silently pulled out a clean boarding pass, first class, seat 1A. Clara snatched it, didn't look, tore it in half, tossing the pieces like garbage onto Zara's lap. "Nice fake ticket," she said flatly. Across the aisle, a teenage boy tilted his phone, quietly live streaming. The red recording light blinked, unnoticed by Clara, who was too busy keeping order her way. Zara rose slowly, legs straight, pain now sharp and shooting up her knee. She steadied herself on the armrest, grabbed her small backpack. No words, no fight, just a long last look at the window, clouds rolling by, indifferent. As she limped down the aisle, every step earned sidelong glances, awkward shifts. A man in 3C opened his newspaper. A woman fiddled with her earring, avoiding her gaze. Someone whispered, "Probably a free upgrade." They always try to sneak in. Zara didn't break pace, didn't explain. Blood now staining the side of her shoe, she crossed behind the curtain, directed wordlessly towards seat 35, middle row, squeezed between a guy with grease stains on his hoodie and a teen blasting bass through cheap earbuds. She sat carefully, wincing. The man next to her sighed. The teenager didn't even notice. She pulled out her laptop, screen black. In the overhead bin, a tiny LED blinked 3 times live stream, now at 23,000 viewers. The crew finally noticed, ordered it stopped, but too late. The internet was buzzing. Did that flight attendant just kick a kid? Who's that girl? Zara wasn't reading comments. She stared out the window, calm but trembling. 3 rows behind, a woman leaned to her husband. Where's the parent? That's the problem. Letting these kids roam. Expecting handouts. Her voice was quiet but carried. On Zara's laptop, a line of code blinked. Tier 1 candidate detected. Ethos system available. Ethos. Zara didn't touch it yet. She reached in her backpack, pulling out a worn velvet pouch. From it, a narrow leather bracelet stitched in blue thread, edges fraying from years of use. Not jewelry, a legacy. 5 years ago, her mother, Dr. Naomi Bennett, had designed Ethos, a radical ethics override protocol to expose bias, log discrimination in real time, escalate abuse. The industry rejected it. Too radical, too expensive, too inconvenient. 6 months later, Naomi died in a plane crash blamed on pilot error. But Christopher Bennett, her husband, didn't buy it, especially when the black box vanished for 72 hours, then turned up miraculously intact. He didn't sue, didn't scream, rebuilt Ethos in secret. And now, here was Zara, blood on her sock, legacy on her wrist, and a choice weighing heavy. Back in first class, Clara sipped sparkling water, smirking, unaware the storm was humming quiet and coated above them. A man with silver-rimmed glasses typed quietly on his laptop, eyes narrowing. An email pinged to his editor urgent, possible ethics abuse live from Flight 8271. The world was watching. Zara sat still, engines humming around her like white noise. Her wrist bracelet pulsed subtly, almost silent. The laptop flickered to life ethos awakening. A voice, her mother's, whispered in her mind, "One day you'll wear this. Not for what it is, but what it means. If they ever silence you, you won't have to scream to be heard." Zara remembered sitting on her mom's lap, 7 years old, the bracelet humming softly, but not working yet, waiting for a voice stronger than hers. Now, that silence was deafening. The laptop asked, "Do you wish to initiate protocol?" She hesitated. Not yet. Outside, clouds drifted like continents. Inside, pain dulled to a throb. Zara cleaned her wound carefully. The teen's music shifted to a revenge anthem. She almost smiled. Ethos was reacting on its own. Files decrypted, hidden modules initialized Geneva Core, the personal layer her mother buried deep, encrypted and only accessible by blood. A video began to play, a recording from Naomi's lab. They said bias wasn't real, but we measured turbulence and fuel down to the ounce. They feared bias because they'd see the truth. The screen went black except for one line. "This is your system now, Zara. Use it wisely or not at all." Zara leaned back, breathing in and out. The girl who limped into this row wounded, humiliated, was now her mother's voice from beyond silence, reminding her she could choose. Ethos had already started scanning a cabin's internal comms, personnel logs, passenger manifest. Passive mode active. Someone pressed the call button behind her. A baby wailed 3 rows back. Clara passed, eyes scanning like a wolf hunting weakness. She didn't recognize Zara. To her, it was just another disruption, another girl. But Zara was no longer invisible. Back at FAA headquarters, Jennifer Dean's screen turned red, unregistered ethics beacon pinging from 35,000 feet. Ethos was supposed to be dead, dismantled after Naomi's hearings. But here it was live, coming from a civilian device on row 35C. "Where's the signal coming from?" Jennifer barked. The assistant tapped commands. "Flight 8271, San Francisco to Chicago, economy row 35C. Jennifer narrowed her eyes. "Give me the manifest." The name hit cold. Zara Bennett, 13 years old. Naomi Bennett's daughter. The system recognized the legacy, ITIRE 1 override active. Ethos wasn't a ghost. It was a sleeper, just woken up. Red alerts lit FAA terminals from Dallas to Heathrow. Systems froze, loyalty scanners misfired, lounge doors locked down. Back on the plane, Zara closed her laptop, shoulders easing. A man behind her whispered, "She really did it." Zara turned. Liam Parker, mid-60s, quiet all flight, eyes behind glasses now sharp. "I was there 10 years ago. Saw what they did to your mother," laughed at her proposal, buried her research. "You just lit up every terminal from LAX to Tokyo. They're listening now." Zara met his gaze. "Who are you?" He smiled faintly. "Name's Liam. Journalist." "Well, former. I investigate quietly. Been watching Clara Simmons before you even stepped on this plane." He showed her internal logs. Clara's history of targeting black women, cover-ups, escalating bias. Ethos had archived everything. Clara, meanwhile, paced behind the curtain, tapping her tablet in frustration. Behavioral report under review. Stand by, no clearance. She hissed at a younger attendant. "Protocol. Can't be too careful." Dana, the younger attendant, frowned. "I saw blood on that girl's sock. She wasn't aggressive." Clara's grip tightened. Sometimes truth doesn't help. At FAA, Jennifer Dean watched a flood of emails from passengers, witnesses, whistleblowers, demanding justice. "This is why ethos matters," one wrote. "That girl took it silently. Now the system is louder than we ever were." Liam slid Zara a flash trivia backup. "Your mom was a genius. Ethos isn't just code. It's memory." Zara's laptop pinged 152 airports, confirming override active. "No more silent flights," she whispered. Clara's tablet pinged back. Report under federal review. Recommendation. Stand down. She froze. Then a message. Subject is override access passenger. Status. Ground immediately. Clara's facade cracked. She walked past Zara one last time, this time afraid of the look in Zara's eyes. Zara clicked yes on her laptop. Ethos roared to life, quiet but unstoppable. Boarding systems froze in Atlanta. Biometric kiosks crashed at JFK. Loyalty scanners failed worldwide. The airline industry was locked down by a teenager with her mother's legacy. At FAA, Jennifer announced, Ethos is no longer a ghost protocol. It's federal reality. Back on the plane, Liam leaned in. You just broke the lock. Zara smiled faintly. I'm making them answer to memory. A live stream lit up worldwide. Monarch Aviation CEO publicly apologized for firing Naomi Bennett. We should have signed a charter 5 years ago, he said, voice cracking. The industry began to crumble, forced into reform. Clara, stripped of privilege, now barred from all FAA-certified roles, disappeared quietly. Meanwhile, Zara worked from her Chicago bedroom, refining Ethos into SkySafety's silent guardian for kids flying alone. Months later, a 6-year-old boarding solo in Denver wore a SkySafe bracelet. On screen, a message, "You are not alone." The girl smiled. Zara boarded another flight, economy seat 22A, no upgrades. She flew not for privilege, but to witness the world others lived in. A new flight attendant, freshly trained in ethics, recognized her. You're the reason I showed up. Zara looked out the window as the plane lifted. The skies hadn't changed, but something inside the system had. It saw. It listened. A young girl with a purple backpack walked confidently into first class. No raised eyebrows, no whispers. Zara and the girl shared a quiet smile, recognition, not revenge. As night fell, Zara whispered to herself, we're all in the air now. Time to fly right.